Okay, so we're going to talk, starting off today, a little bit about urban forest stewardship for bird conservation using iTree in Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic. Let's see if I can change the slide. Many contributors that Wayne and I are presenting, but you can see we have many contributors and many researchers working on and collaborating on this project with us. The Dominican Republic is in the Caribbean. You can see the red dot there in the global map, and then its relation off the coast of Central America, out in the Caribbean. And then in Santo Domingo, we're right down here. You can see my cursor. Looks like I get the pointer. There. We're right down here in Santo Domingo in South Central Dominican Republic. That's where the project site is at. We've been working on green area conservation for several years, doing StewMap, land use planning, conservation education, a lot of training and capacity building, working with citizen science and training citizen scientists. And, of course, we just mentioned iTree and urban research, and Wayne's going to talk about what we're doing there. Wayne's our principal investigator and primary scientist and teaching a lot of people in the Dominican Republic how to do good science. Okay, Wayne, go ahead. We're also documenting problems with introduced animals on their effects on birds and the habitats. And here we have cats eating a pigeon and a cat preying on something. And we're getting a lot of cats. And then, of course, we're trying to document when we can the problems with birds crashing into windows. Here's a migratory thrush that crashed into a window, and we're picking up quite a few of that. Here we go. So we're going to talk a little bit now about birds and trees benefit Santo Domingo, how birds and trees benefit the city. Follow the ecosystem services categories and provisioning. Water birds. Here's a night heron at the ocean, and here it is at a coconut tree in the city, nesting, and here's the young. So the birds are interfacing between the sea and the inner city. Regulating, they help regulate through pest control and disease control. And a big part is the cultural values with public education and ecotourism. By having birds there, 8 species of endemic birds in the city, it calls for it opens opportunities for ecotourism. And this is one of our global big day activities with local residents, and education with local students. And then, of course, the supporting value, Antillean mango is one of the most common bird plant pollinators in the city. So they contribute a lot to that. And then also the city provides many ecosystem services to birds. And through provisioning, here we have natural nest sites that the birds find, in this case a tree, a palm, and natural materials for nests. And then here artificial. We have a lot of nesting sites in cables, on telephone poles, electrical poles. The birds use artificial substrate to help make the nest. And regulating, again, the birds help regulate with many species eating invasive or harming insects and what have you. Cultural, again, the birds nest here in the San Nicolas ruins. This is a ruins from the 1500s, and the endemic parakeet nest in these ruins. So it's a nesting habitat. And then, of course, the cultural part, where the artists come and paint telephone poles. And we have a project right now through the Urban Forest Network where we're painting some humongous murals in the city to interpret the interface of green areas and birds. And literally, we will get thousands and thousands of people next year see that. So it'll help with health and spirit and education throughout time. And then the supporting activities. The birds provide, they disperse, eat seeds and fruit, and they disperse it. So we have different species eating and dispersing seeds throughout the area, migrants as well as residents and endemics. And of course, the supporting part. Santo Domingo provides flowers and possibilities for birds to pollinate. And we're trying to document that as much as we can. And as I said earlier, to do this, we have to have a lot of partners. So we're working with support and funding from USAID. We're working with universities such as INTEC and University of Puerto Rico, Catholic University, as well as University of Amherst, Northern Research Station in the United States, and we're working with local NGOs. This is Grupo Acción Ecológico, which is a local NGO and doing a lot of conservation education. And we've received support from PEER, the program from the National Science Foundation. It's helped with the science and has really supported this project, and a lot of our publications are going to come out because of the support from that group. We have a large team of people, of local persons from different institutions, a wildlife team that's been in the field on an average 4 days a week for the last 6 years. And so, Wayne said we had more than 700,000 detections. We're getting a lot of data. Most of this data is now entered in the computer. Wayne has started analysis. We have done some publications, but we're at the point now where in the next year and a half, we're going to come out with a lot more publications, and we'll really be dispersing information. So thank you for your attention, and there's our contact information. And I guess we go to Robert, and then we'll have some questions and answers. Thank you very much.